probably the worst case of abuse that I've ever seen. Sylvia and Jenny Likens were two very kind and well-mannered young girls. Their parents, Lester and Betty, worked the traveling carnival circuit, selling food at fairs across the Midwest. Sadly, they couldn't bring the girls along with them that season, so they made an arrangement. For $20 a week, a local woman named Gertrude Baniszewski would look after them at her home in Minneapolis. She was very soft-spoken and seemed like a very sweet lady overall. So, in July of 1965, Sylvia and Jenny moved in with her and her 7 other children. At first, things were going great. The girls went to school, they helped out around the house, but when the payments from their father came late one week, things changed. Gertrude's temper started to show. It was meant to be for both of them, but Sylvia said she would take Jenny's abuse too. It began with just verbal stuff, saying she was dirty or sleeping with young boys for money. None of which was true, might I add, but it escalated very, very quickly. Gertrude began beating Sylvia with belts and paddles, and then she encouraged her children to do the same. And then the neighbors' kids joined in. Most days, Sylvia was kept down in the basement, curled up on the cold concrete, shaking from hunger and fear. When they did bring her upstairs, it was to put on a show. They'd throw her down in front of others and tell her to strip, laughing while she stood there trembling and humiliated. Sylvia wasn't even a person to them anymore. She was just something that could hurt whenever they felt like it. One day, Gertrude heated a sewing needle and told the neighbor's kid, Richard, to carve a message into Sylvia's stomach. It said, "I'm a prostitute and proud of it." According to the court documents, she had passed out from the pain, but when she came to, they forced her to stand in front of a mirror. By October, Sylvia could barely stand anymore, but on the 25th, she made one last effort and tried to escape. She made it to the front door, but Gertrude caught her, dragged her back inside, and beat her until she was unconscious. She passed away the next day. Her body was found on a blood-stained mattress covered in bruises, burns, and open wounds, which, might I add, they also poured salt into. Jenny, who was terrified and shaking, told the police everything. Gertrude was arrested along with her daughter Paula and several of the neighborhood kids. The details that came out in court, some of which I couldn't even talk about on here, it's unreal what they did to this girl. 20 years later, in 1985, Gertrude got out on parole and died 5 years later. Make sure to hit that follow button for more spooky stories and true crime cases.